Hi, this is African time. Let's learn Africa together, shall we? Let's go. Okay, so today's topic is about was shared by the African thousand people, and it says Africa's most powerful passports by easy access to countries. Yeah, so we are going to discuss about Africa's most powerful passports, and it's being evaluated by easy access to countries. Okay, let's go. Okay, so number one is Seychelles, and it says that its passport has a destinations of about 156 countries. Number two is Mauritius with 151 countries. Number three is South Africa with 106 countries. Number four is Botswana with 88 countries. Number five is Namibia with 81 countries. At number six is Lesotho with 79 countries. And number seven is Eswatini with 77 countries. And number 8 is Malawi with 75 countries. And number 9 is Kenya with 74 countries. And at number 10 is Morocco with 73 countries. Okay, so that is it. That is your top most powerful passports in Africa based on its access to other countries. Okay, now what is happening in West Africa though? Well, that is it. So it seems one fascinating thing is that Seychelles being the most strongest passport in Africa based on access to other countries, though, Seychelles. But the fascinating thing is about the top 10 countries. One thing about South Africa here is that I'm actually fascinated with is that the top 10, the top 5 countries, SA is the most populated country. And as a populated country and still being able to hold and then being in the top 5 most powerful passports based on net access to countries, that means how far they have actually protected their passport and their name globally. Okay, so South Africa has actually done good or great when it comes to diplomacy or diplomatic ways. Okay, so shout out to some people who actually travel outside the country that have maintained their good name for South Africa, and then also the leaders' diplomacy or diplomatical ways dealing with other countries that have ensured their passport to be this strong. Because as I said, the top 5 countries are Seychelles, actually an island though, Seychelles, Mauritius, South Africa, Botswana, and then Namibia. All these 5 countries, South Africa has the largest population with them, and then it's actually fascinating for them to be part of that top 5 in Africa. That's actually impressive. Well, let's continue with this issue, right? Let's go. Okay, so the source to this information is done by 2025 Hanley Passports Index. 2025 Hanley Passport Index. That is where we got this information from. Okay, that is where we got this information from. That we got to know the Africa's strongest or powerful passports by access to other countries. Okay, that's how you got this. Now, see this. Someone came commenting and says, 7 out of those 10 countries are in Southern Africa. Well, that's so true. Southern Africa actually had a good number of representing countries inside the list. Southern Africa is actually doing great and wonders when it comes to diplomacy and also having a good name for the side of continent. Okay, Southern Africa is actually one side of the continent that is actually improving, having a most understanding, and also doing great enough for the motherland or the continent. Okay, so big shout outs to all the Southern African countries and mostly to the ones that were actually featured here on this list. Shout outs to Botswana, Namibia, South Africa. Yeah, the names goes on and on in the list here. Eswatini, Lesotho, shout out to you guys all. And also to my Eastern African country, Kenya. You guys also did great here. You're also part of the top 10. And then from Morocco in the Northern Africa, you guys also do great to be part of this list. So shout out to my Southern Africans, my Eastern Africans, and then my Northern Africans. To my West Africa, we had Mauritius inside there. That's great. Mauritius is doing great with there. But the rest of you guys needs to do better. My Ghana, my Nigeria, my Cote d'Ivoire, my Burkina Faso, you guys needs to be here the next time we're talking about this, okay? Okay, so this one also came and says it's 8 SADC communities out of the 10. SADC has well-behaved members who respect host countries and know when it's time to say goodbye. Okay, so this is it. He's saying that it's not actually 7, but rather it's 8 top countries from the Southern Africans that are actually listed in the Africa's most powerful passports to other countries. All right, that's so cool. Yeah, it's true though. It's true. It's cool. Well, this one also says, South Africa being third is highly impressive, considering how much larger our population is compared to those other countries on the list. Well, that is it. This is South African also actually saying the same thing I was saying, though. He's saying that South Africa being part of the list is actually impressive and it's fascinating, as I said, because top 5 countries, and then South Africa having a population of about 60 million people and being this generous and this diplomacy and this diplomatic shows a lot about this. Because most of the countries, mostly Seychelles and the Mauritius, I can't lie land though, but the rest of countries, but they have a lesser population than South Africa. But still, South Africa maintains their good name and their goodwill, and also maintain how powerful the passport is. That's actually impressive. So I would say big shout out to my South Africans, and big shout out to all African countries that was actually on the list. And also I want to say big shout out to you watching this, for you to also learn something new about the African continent and Africa's powerful passport, and also get to know which other African countries were also on the list in Africa right now. Okay, so the name is Vidashi. This is Vidashi Studios. I'm glad you enjoyed this section of African time, and I'm glad you are going to subscribe to this channel, and most importantly, you are going to comment, and let's have some quick discussion about our continent. Shall we? See you guys around for more tips about Africa.